You don't need to hear from me. Just you can ask. Unbelievable college basketball game. We have so much respect for their team and their program, and we were looking forward to this game. We just knew we would be tested, and we knew we win or lose, we're going to come out of here learning a lot. And we got a little lucky at the end. Donte just made an unbelievable play. Obviously not drawn up, but everything in the first half, the way they guarded us, the way they executed offensively, we're going to learn from that. We're going to learn so much from this game, and we would have if we lost too. I just love playing Virginia. I think Tony's one of the best coaches ever, and I think that program is outstanding.
Was this like a March game?
Hell yeah.
Tournament game, second weekend game?
Hell yeah. It was just great. It was incredible electricity in that building. And you're playing against, you get down and you just, you're not surprised. You're playing against a great team. And you can tell your players all you want about, okay, we might get away with this in this game, but when we play the best teams, we're not. And they saw it. They were saying it to each other. They're saying, like, hey, we got to keep grinding, man. These guys are good. It was great experience.
When Josh and Chris were slumping from the field in the first half, and especially Chris going back to Marquette, were you telling him anything? How did you see their demeanor, their body language as they were going through this?
Well, it's something that great leaders do, and I just was so proud of those two. Virginia had an outstanding game plan, and I'm not hiding it. Everybody knows to watch Virginia, what they do, and they're going to see what they did to Chris and Josh. And they forced those two to make plays for other people, and if you go after two great players like that and they can't get their points, a lot of times they slip defensively or their leadership slips. Those two just brought their leadership to another level, their defense to another level. I'm so proud of them. It's what our program's been about for 4 years. Those three seniors are incredible.
Jay, you were well there in the second half.
Yeah.
What was the decision, and how much did it change the complexion again?
Yeah, we were getting caught on screens and mismatches, and so we just felt like, all right, we might as well just go small, and we're going to get mismatches anyway. Let's just not get caught on screens, let's just be smaller and quicker. And we struggled rebounding anyway, so we thought, this will be a little bit better offensively. We couldn't score, when we were bigger, so it helped us offensively, and it actually did help us defensively. We got some stops and some turnovers.
Jay, shooters are going to shoot, but when Chris is struggling so much, then he hits the bang, bang. What does that do for your team when your shooter then makes a couple of big shots in a big spot?
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike. The shooter has to do a lot of other things to remain in the game. If he's just a shooter and he's missing shots, but he's not defending, he's not rebounding, he's not passing, you can't keep him in the game. The beauty of Chris is he's not making shots and he's doing everything else, so you can keep him in there. Eventually he's going to get one, and with him, when he gets one, it's going to come again. It adds. It really shows the team how committed he is. It brings us together because they know, like, all right, this is our guy, and he's been playing his butt off. He finally got one, and now we're all fired up. Now everybody's on all cylinders. This building explodes when he makes those shots. That was big too.
When they go in, even though he's doing all the other stuff, but when they go in, it's almost like, okay, our shooter's shooting.
Yeah, I think it feels like it's almost like you got. We never worry if Josh and Chris aren't making shots. We never worry. But if we're in a game where they're not, and everyone else is kind of doing their thing, and then they get it going, it's almost like the cavalry came in. It's like, okay, now we got reinforcements, and I think that's the way it was in that game.
Donte, what was it like to go through that atmosphere that the coach was just talking about for the first time in your career, where it was just elevated to another level?
I mean, it was a great atmosphere, especially being at home, being in front of our fans. But focused with my teammates. I wasn't worried about who was there, who was watching, because, like I said, us guys are brothers, and we're out there, and we're one unit, and we can't worry about anything else.
Did it feel different, though?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great atmosphere.
What's your view of the last play?
Josh made a great play. He saw the lane open, and the defense turned their head, and there was only a couple seconds left. So if I didn't get it, we were going to overtime, and we just had to lock down defensively. But luckily, I got a last second tip in.
Josh, it might surprise you, but Tony Bennett was asked about the last play. He couldn't remember who made the tip in. I think he thought it was you, and he was asking us who made the tip in. Of course, we all say DiVincenzo. What was it like for you to be like watching that, another witness?
It was cool. I think I had a little different view. I think I was on the ground, and I just look up, and I just saw the ball on the rim, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought I missed it. And then I didn't know. I honestly, and then I thought it was Mikal that tipped it in at first. And then I see everyone run to Tay. I just started running to Tay too. I was so happy, but it was, it was just a great Villanova basketball game, and great Villanova basketball play by Tay.
Josh, coach says that he doesn't worry when you're missing shots. What was your mindset out there? Were you getting a little concerned that the shots weren't falling?
First half, I was frustrated, but I gotta know I can't focus on just scoring. I gotta focus on different things, especially when you're playing a great defensive team like Virginia, who trying to stop you. And I think a couple of shots I kind of forced, which I probably just should have gotten in the lane and look for my teammates, and just a growing experience for me. But I can't worry about making shots. This is just a prime example. Game. We're not making shots, playing a great opponent. Game come down to the last possession. We just make a great play. So you just can't focus on making and missing shots.
Was anything said at halftime? You guys, after going 4 for 22, shoot 13 for 18.
No. Coach is just talking. Just keep doing what we're doing. Just got to make sure we don't force contested shots. And I told the guys right before we got on the court, I said, if we all play Villanova basketball for 20 minutes, we all buy in, and we're one unit. We're going to be at the game at the end. I said I can't guarantee that we're going to win it, because I don't think anyone can. But I said we will be in the game, and the second half we just played tough, and I'm just proud of my brothers just playing Villanova basketball like that, even when shots aren't going in.
A lot of people look for Arch or Daniel. Now it's you and Chris a lot. How is that different, that role of being the people that now young guys like this are like kind of looking at you?
Mm-hmm. Definitely different, but you got to accept it. I got to realize I'm a role model, to these guys, and I got to play Villanova basketball for 40 minutes. And, when I don't, they got to hold me accountable. I know if I do that and these guys, see me do that, we love each other. They're great guys. They're going to do the same thing. So it's definitely different. But just watching my all 3 years just with James, Tony, Darren, JP, Ryan, Daniel, you see how they sacrifice. And you want to do that, and it's a struggle. Don't get me wrong, it's a struggle with, trying to not be frustrated, trying to make sure, you're setting a great example, every day for the younger guys. And, I'm not perfect at it. I think Coach will tell you I'm not perfect at it, but, I'm growing. And I think, that aspect I'm proud of myself, and I just got to, keep doing that. The season's coming to an end. There's 2 more months left in college basketball. And 2 more months, I just got to, just totally buy in and be a role model to these guys.
Jay Halport was it for Bridges especially? And
He was.
To keep you guys.
I'm glad you asked about him because he was awesome. He did all the little things. He made he made big buckets, big stop, block shots, steals. He was incredible, man. We didn't really run anything for him. He just. He got an offensive rebound, big offensive rebound, just made the right pass. He was awesome in this game. If you guys don't ask, I'm not going to talk, but I'm glad you let me talk about him because I just thought he was incredible. And he defended Parentes. He defended Shayak. He defended at one point we had him at the 4 spot. He rebounded. He was awesome.
Donte, when they go to the monitor to review that final tip in, did you know it was good, or were you kind of sitting on pins and needles there?
Well, I had no idea, but like I said, I wasn't worried about that because if it didn't go in, we had overtime, and if it did go in, then great.
because you guys aren't as deep as you were a year ago, how badly do you need Bridges, Donte, Eric
Yeah.
minutes right now?
Yeah, really, Eric and Dante are the key because they can play. And I'm looking at this. They played 19 minutes. I gotta play them more minutes. One of the things. I have a lot of weaknesses as a coach, but one of my weaknesses is when you get older in this program, I just, it's like a blanket to a baby. Like I'm so comfortable with those guys out there. I stick with I'm looking at this when he's talking. I played too many minutes. I played Josh. Too many minutes. I played Chris. Too many minutes. I played Mikhail. I don't have to. Like I trust these guys, but this is a byproduct of my kind of insecurity and just wanting to have them out there. I got to get better at it because they're good enough and we can see.
Does seeing them in this kind of atmosphere help?
Yeah,
that
big time.
that part of it.
Big time. And I thought Eric was great too. That's what I looked at. I only had him in there 19 minutes. He can play any position, and so can Dante. So it's easy to get them in there. I got to do a better job of it.
Jay, you had 4 fouls to give at the end there if you wanted. Was there any talk about just disrupt them so they didn't get a shot?
On the last one?
On their possession after you took the
We
lead
actually
like
went
20.
we actually went 2 for 1. We called a timeout, and Jalen got a quick bucket. Just because they're so good, there's no way we wanted to be in a situation with them when they had the last shot tie game. They execute better than anybody in the country. So we went 2 for 1. So we were trying not to give up a 3 on that play. We did a great job. Jerome. Well, we were trying to be we were trying to be aggressive. That was we got it with like 15, but before that we could have fouled some. We were being real aggressive, and Ty Jerome took it and drove it. So once he drove it, we didn't want to foul on the shot. I thought we did a great job. I was proud of our guys, but it was only a 2. What we didn't want to do was give up a 3 there, and then we got it back tied. And that's when you play. Rarely do we do that ever. If you ever see us do that, that means we have it's more than respect because we respect everybody. Fear. We have fear of our opponent.
Josh, last year you would say, you told the team you were trying to create practice habits that are going to be successful in April, and you got to April. Is that something you still say? Do you still guys talk about April?
No, I haven't said that. I think I took that phrase out of my vocabulary. Yeah. But the phrase that we use is we're making habits that's going to make us the best in difficult situations, and the best team we can be at the end of the year. And whenever that is, whether it's March or April, I can't say. I wish I could say where it was, but we got to make sure we're creating habits to make us the best team we can be at the end of the year. And no telling where that will go, but we're gonna get there and we're gonna find out.
Coach said this felt like March. Did you think it felt like March?
Oh, it definitely did. They are a tough team. They were an Elite 8 team last year. They're a very tough team this year who can make a run, and the environment was just it was crazy, but it definitely felt like March.
Do you remember your first game like that when you were younger? And can you translate that to the younger guys now? Or do you have to live it?
You can say it. I can tell these guys what it is 100 times, but you won't really get the full gist of it until you play in a game like this. And this game kind of reminded me a little bit of the Syracuse game last year, or I think it was last year or 2 years ago, where it was here and we just we're down and just battled back, and I think we were able to pull it out in overtime. But games like that where you're playing a great team. It was very disciplined, very well coached. It's tough, and you can't really explain that enough until you go through it.
Since the Marquette game, what has it been like trying to get over the way that one got away? And did you guys just put it behind you, or just talk much about it? Or
we definitely talked about it. When you have a game like that, you can't just put it behind you. We talked about it, and I think the last 3 practices has been our best practices in terms of just intensity, in terms of just working on habits, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of those guys, and we definitely learned from it. And I think I like where we are right now. We can be better, but we're going in the right direction. That's the most important thing.
Dante's been known to kind of fly in for some of those tip-ins throughout the year. With him not having taken a field goal yet all game, and you guys really needing a bucket on that last possession, was that sort of something that you were thinking you might get out of him with him being on the floor there for that last possession?
No. I should have. I really should have. I really should have, because that is the right play to make. He's a great offensive rebounder, and we use him that way. And we were really using him on that side in case they stopped Josh, and we were going to try to back cut him because he's a great finisher at the rim. That was the plan. And again, it's just when you have great players that have good basketball IQs, he's got very good basketball IQ. They know the right play. Kyle Lowry made a play like that for us as a point guard against Notre Dame one time on the road. Same play, exact same play. He wasn't even supposed to go to the offensive glass. At least he's supposed to. But it's just a great player with a high basketball IQ, understanding the situation. I wish one of us, we should have said it to him, we could take credit, but we didn't.